Hello children, welcome back. We can continue our discussion. This is related to secularism, understanding secularism, the second chapter of politics. Class. In our last class, we have discussed the meaning of secularism. How you can recall? What do you mean by secularism? Yes, absolutely. Yes, secularism means the state which do not have any official religion. And what do you mean by theocratic society? Yes, you are correct. Theocratic society means the state they are possessing, they have an official religion. Example, Saudi Arabia. And now, this session, we can go and discuss what is Indian secularism. Now we have to talk India. How we are practicing the idea of secularism. As you know, the 42nd Amendment of the Constitution of India in 1976 included the idea of secularism, the preamble of our Constitution. In our previous classes, we have discussed the preamble of the Constitution of India. Let's begin. We the people of India solemnly. So you know that one. So in the preamble, the major ideals and the characteristics is included. From the characteristics of our Constitution, we can identify India, a democratic social republic. These all values. So one important one, secular. The idea of secular that is added in the year 1976. Next detail. According to this ideology, the state is separated from religion. Unnecessarily, the state cannot interfere in the matters of the religious belief of the citizen. There should be a separation. According to the Constitution of India, whenever she needs to interfere in the business of people, the affairs of religion, they can. One example that we can see, untouchability. The government banned the ideology of untouchability. And at the same time, citizen, they have the right to follow, profess and preach his own belief, his own religion. The state cannot interfere in that. The state cannot give any financial assistance or support to a particular religion. The government cannot propagate one religion. The government cannot support the majority religion or majority group in our society. Everybody has the equal power. Rule of law, equality before law. Another speciality of our secularism, the idea of secularism is related to religion, and it's one of the fundamental rights of Indian citizen. Freedom of religion, it's a fundamental right. Hope you know the meaning of fundamental rights. Again, this year, one chapter exclusively for the fundamental rights we can discuss in a detailed way. Fundamental rights, that is contained in the part 3 of the Constitution of India. Part 3. Fundamental rights. Originally, 395 articles are there in the Constitution of India. So before that, what is Constitution? Do you have any idea about? Okay, good. Constitution means what? It's a comprehensive document which relates to rights and duties of citizens as well as it gives some directions to the government. Direct to the Constitution, it's a fundamental law of the nation. It's a comprehensive document which relates to the rights and the duties of citizens as well as giving some directions to the government. There are many laws. The laws which is related to the human being as well as the state, everything it is there in the Constitution. 395 articles divided categorized into 22 parts. 22 parts and 12 schedules. So part 3 of the Constitution, that is related to fundamental rights. Fundamental rights begin from Article 14 onwards. Article 14 to Article 35. So freedom of religion, Article 25 to 28. Article 25 to 28, that is exclusively or it's related to the religion, the freedom of religion. So no one can interfere in the matters of the beliefs of a particular individual. The state cannot do anything against the practice of a religion. Based on this, we can move to the next part. Children, according to the Constitution, we can realize the objective of a secular state. Mainly for 3 objectives. The first one religious community does not dominate the other one. Now what we can see, in every nation, different types of different communities are living. Maybe among this religious group, maybe a particular one, maybe a dominating one, a majoritarian one. Example, India. Here the Hindu community, that is the majoritarian one. Majority people they are following and possessing or propagating the Hindu religion. The minorities are Christians, Muslims, Sikhs, etc. are minority. So one religious group, one community that cannot dominate the other one. That's the situation of secularism. If the majoritarian group dominating the other one, that may lead to develop some issues in the society. The best example is Nazi Germany. The philosophy of a particular, the ideology of a particular community, particular religious groups, they started to dominate the other one. They started to interfere in the matters of the other one. With the support of the state government, within the constitutional law of the Nazi government, Nazism, they started to implement their own philosophy over the other one. They were trying to find a way to evacuate the undesirable or Jews from their nation for making a racial state. In a secularist nation, such as domination should not be. So the constitution it will explain clearly. The second one, the members do not dominate other members of the same religious community. Maybe in a particular group, a particular religious group. They were against the fellow beings. Example, India, the Varna system. You know that our society, she was divided into four groups based on caste or occupation. The first one, the dominant one, they were Brahmins, who performed the religious sacrifice ceremonies, etc. They were the powerful. Second category, Kshatriyas, dedicated for war. Third one, Vaishyas. Trade. Last one, Shudras. So, a separation. The same religion, the people they were against others. So, it should not. It should not happen. If it is there, it's not a secularistic nation. The third one, the state does not enforce any particular religion nor take away the religious freedom of individual. The government should not interfere in the matters of religion. If they have interfered, definitely it is against the idea of secularism. Example, Sri Lanka. You know what happened to Sri Lanka? 1952 they have amended their constitution and they have declared Buddhism as their official religion. You know what happened? Finally that leads to a civil war between the Singla group and the other minority religious groups. I hope it's clear. This we can summing up what we have discussed. This we can summing up what we have discussed so far. Started with what is Indian secularism? Yes, the 42nd Amendment of the Constitution of India. Year 1976 we have included the ideology of secularism. A secular nation. Then it's a fundamental right of Indian citizen, freedom of religion. The citizen of India, they have their own right, they have the freedom to follow or profess or preach their own religion. The state shall not interfere in the affairs of religious groups. Then the major objectives in the secular nations, we can see something. So what are the objectives of a secular nation? Clearly, these objectives are not in the Constitution of India. Namely, the first one religious community, they should not against to the other one. There won't be any separation of majority or minority. The second one, in a particular religious community, sometimes a particular group of people, maybe they were against the fellow one, the others. It should not happen. The last one, the government having a right to enforce the beliefs to the people. We can wind up this session and just note down a question. Which amendment of the Constitution of India included the ideology of secularism to our Constitution? Thank you. Have a good day.